Welcome back to Spitball and Cards. In today's episode, you have me, Scott, Ty, Jeff, and Phil, and we're talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for half a second, and then a couple other fun topics. So, Ty, before we were recording this episode, you showed us a few things, and I said, wait, let's talk about this on the video, because it is an interesting thought exercise about where we should put our money and where people are putting their money.
Yeah.
So, Ty, show us what you were showing us before.
I will never understand the high-end market. I will never understand it. It is more marketing and hype than anything else, it looks like to me. So imagine this. I'm on my company. We're on a company retreat last week. We had an all-company offsite retreat for 3 days. And it's Thursday night, elite monthly premiere auction for Fanatics Collect. And I'm sitting with Jeff. We're actually playing poker. And all these cards are ending. And I see this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, some of our audience may know who that is, reigning MVP and world champion, one of the top two favorites to win MVP again this year and the favorite to win in the championship again this year. So arguably the best player in the NBA. And this is his optic, black 1/1 on card, rated rookie from 2018. It's a PSA 9. The auto looks a little streaky, faded, kind of washed out. So hopefully this wasn't soaked or something bizarre. But it went for $90,000. So maybe you think like, oh, that's a lot of money if you don't have any context. For Shai, I was yelling at Jeff to buy this card. Like I was like, buy this card. This is one of his best cards. Why would this card not go for six figures? I have no idea. And if you go to just Shai's top sales in that same auction, a 2024 non-rookie Kaboom green 1/1 went for $432,000. You have this sale from a couple of years, 3 years ago, that was before he ever went on this MVP run or was a world champion. This is his like player worn photo shoot logo man auto out of NT 1/1 that sold for $228,000. This was the same auction. This is the one that blows me away. This is just the of 4 numbered to 4 gold logo man patch from last year from being the MVP and $210,000. So this went for, what is that? 130, 140%, 120%. I don't know. My math isn't working right now. Just kind of mind blowing to me. Even earlier last year, a year ago, his gold prism to 10 in a PSA 10 sold for $153,000. Compared to, again, an optic black 1/1. Like, I guess it's a combination of how optic has fallen really, really far in the eyes of the collector, which is in my mind kind of psycho. But just, I don't get it. I don't understand how this card can sell for, 4.5 times what the other one does. And it's not a rookie. It's make it make sense.
I know there was a lot of marketing around that card. And there's also a lot of marketing around the gold NBA logo for his MVP, whatever. So both of those, I think, are products of just them being marketed because that Kaboom is the only 1/1 Kaboom that he has. No more Kabooms are being made. And so it was spun like that is going to be the best Kaboom ever for Shai. That was how it was portrayed and people hyped it up. So that's what I saw on Reels on Instagram. And so the point is that was really heavily marketed. And honestly, those NBA gold patches, they're being marketed like crazy across all sports too.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'd have done the exact same thing for the black autograph, if it would have done better. But it's just about what they pick to push and pump a little bit, which is interesting.
It shows how big Kabooms and downtowns have gotten in basketball and football, or had gotten, I guess, now that they're going to be gone. But just that the way that Panini really exploited the insert, the case hit, the really sought after insert versus just being the numbered cards or parallels of base cards. They really found a niche there. And I know Topps is trying to capture that and make their own sort of case hits, but that's a lot of money, almost $500,000 for a 2024 insert.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple other examples. In alt right now, ending in 3.5 days, we've got 2 2025 green Kaboom 1/1s of non-quarterbacks. So football players that are receivers, Puka Nacua and JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, they're already at $40K a piece each. And again, non-rookies from 2025. So Again, maybe these are going to be their top Kaboom cards. I'm not sure. I don't know about the history. I don't know about JSN's rookie year, and if he's got a 1-of-1. I don't get it, but this is a little bit different than the gold logo man thing. It's not just because of marketing; it's because of true organic collector demand too with the Kaboom. So, as Jeff said, I wouldn't use the word exploit, but they've definitely mastered the case hit and the insert for sure.
So here's a hypothetical for you guys. Okay, would you rather have the Kaboom 101 or just the base 1-of-1? Like, let's make easy baseball, the Superfractor versus like a Kaboom. Because when you think about it, the Kaboom is a super short print, but there's really only one 1-of-1, like a Superfractor, compared to the 1-of-1 of a Kaboom. So are we just paying for the art? Because typically the base card is more iconic. It's more remembered. It's kind of how I feel about like the SSPs in baseball and Topps Chrome. Like, that's why I don't have any interest in those parallels. How do you guys feel about those?
I mean, I think you're hitting on something important. Even just to, I went to look at this. What Phil just said. This is the horizontal, and for those who don't know, the horizontal, just regular Kabooms, non-serial numbered, are significantly more common and less rare than the verticals. From these recent years when they started doing that, it was another way of them mass-producing Kabooms with the illusion that they're rare. This is a 1-of-1 at 40,000, like Phil said. But here's the vertical that ends in 10 days at 28,000. So really, there's 2 of them. And really, this is his rookie at 28,000. But I went to Market Movers to see what's his most expensive sale. This is his Prism Black Finite 1-of-1, which is typically for non-autos, the grail card for any football player.
Yeah.
That just sold on the Premier auction for less than 28,000 with Fanatics. And then here's another one from December. This would be up there, very, very high up there as well. That sold for 27,000. So I don't know.
I would rather have either of those tie than the Boom. It just shows, like Phil said, just the different collector mentality.
The big game he had, of course, was after that.
Oh my gosh.
But,
I forgot to scroll. So the horizontal rookie, there's a horizontal rookie as well. That already sold for, look at the price appreciation. So you've got his 3rd year horizontal green Kaboom selling for already almost 4x.
Yeah, that was a great buy 4 months ago, or whoever bought that.
Kidding. Jeez.
Yeah, I'd rather have the base 1-of-1, but maybe that's the baseball collector in me speaking, compared to the basketball collector that I don't quite get.
Well, that's football. Just so you know, that was football.
Well, I kind of view them as the same thing. If I'm being honest. Collectors, I should say.
Well, I've said this before, the football collector community, and this is no shade at any specific person. This is a general assessment of the dynamic within the football card community is very, I don't know what other word to use other than like immature in the way they behave, like from a purchasing perspective. There's way less, I've heard way less logic from this like group than I hear from baseball, which is why I made a video all about like the baseball card collecting community as opposed to other sports. And that's basketball, the high end, they have their logic and their rules that they play by. Football, I don't think there's any rules established. It's just the wild, wild west rate. It's just the dynamic. And so the people who succeed in that space are the dealers and the flippers. They just know how to read the people. They know the hype beast and they have the network and they just know how to play the machine, as opposed to there actually being any rhyme or reason to why they do what they do other than just being very effective hype beasts.
Yeah, so those individuals are really controlling the market and telling like their followers what to buy, and that determines more.
I very, very strongly believe that's the case, yeah.
Baseball collectors, I agree. They seem like they're more seasoned. I like baseball. Like people don't have to win every single championship to have value, which is nice compared to like football. Mahomes has how many? 3 Super Bowls? Or say he have 4? I don't know how many he has. Let's say 3.
He has a million.
Yeah, he has a lot. Plus, he's really successful. And he's injured this one year and everybody's freaking out. And it's like, do you guys realize like that Willie Mays won 1 World Series when he was 21 and then never won a World Series again? Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny to see the differences between the two sports.
No.
It's just funny. You like show up with one of those JSN 1-of-1 Kabooms, not one of the ones that recently sold for, was going to sell for $55K or whatever, but one of the lesser ones that sold for less, even though it should be worth more because it's like, you know, older, presumably. You bring it to a dealer at a show and you're like, hey, I have a comp of 55K for one that's newer. So can you give me 25 to 30K for this? And the dealer will be like, how about 15? Like, it's just strange. They need some multipliers over there.
Yeah.
Well, it's a strange, I don't understand the space, to be totally honest, at the end of the day, outside of baseball, which I feel like I've had a lot more exposure to through deals you guys have done and just more insight into that community. Is like a lot of the reels I see on social media. And again, this isn't like a personal attack or shade on anybody, but like a lot of the people who have built big influencer brands, their like Instagram shorts are just them like doing deals with other dealers. Like it's always like this dealer to that dealer. And I'm like, how are they deciding like where they're willing to get rid of cards and make a move? And but it's all these types of cards. And obviously Roth, did something none of us have done and convinced the owner of the Commanders to buy his card for $500,000 on the spot. That was genius. So I'm not smarter than me.
We actually saw recently, this is worth bringing up. We saw a sale in baseball cards that really reminded me about it felt like the football and basketball market. Do you guys know what card I'm talking about before I show it?
Alter Ego, Otani?
Yes, it is that Shohei Otani Alter Ego. So here it is right here. Really cool card. It's in 2025 Topps Chrome Update. If this is not AI, they actually made a point of showing that this actually was art that's done, which I think is great. But it's a one-on-one. I'd rather have his 2025 Topps Chrome Superfractor from the base set, but I'm thinking really narrow-minded because this was $105,000, which is a top 10 Otani Superfractor sale ever, only trailing rookies, I believe. So this is the most expensive Otani non-rookie Superfractor ever. So this feels like football.
Crazy to me. So like Scott, even has his first Dodgers Chrome Superfractor sold?
I can find out.
And
I mean, we had this one. This was last June though, but this was his first Dodgers Superfractor autograph, which I think is way cooler than the one I just showed personally.
Yeah, Bowman Chrome.
And that was 86,000. That'd be more now, obviously. We just had this Topps Chrome Black Dodgers autograph Superfractor for 81,000.
Scroll down a couple more. There's
I would rather have either of those autos than that Showtime.
Where did you go buy it? Hold on, go back up to 66,000.
The base version of that is quite sought after too.
Yeah.
By the way, so there's one in auction right now that's at 7,200, a PSA 9.
Wow.
The pop is low on the base too, which makes me really not care about the Superfractor as much, relatively, I guess. But that one's on Fanatics Collect with a few days left, I think. Now, do you guys think that this card would have sold for less if there wasn't any kanji scripture on it? Is that what is pushing people to really like this card, this image?
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe. I think the tie to Japan people like that. I don't think that's it though.
I like his flowing hair in the back image. I think that did it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You said the pop count is low, Phil. What did you know the print run on the base? Like how rare are these to even pull?
Graded by
having a rare base version makes me less interested in the super.
So I actually don't know how rare it is because this is from 2025 Topps Chrome Update.
The fact
that there's only 3 graded by PSA, that could mean there's still, a few hundred of these.
100 in the process. Yeah,
I guess
whoever got first to market, that was pretty smart.
You already know how many there are. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting. One other thing, in no world should this card have a parallel to me. I don't think short print should have parallels because then they're the exact same print as the base cards. If they have a parallel, so that's never made sense to me. They should just be the image variations, make them rare. I don't think they need parallels. Okay. Jeff, you're the super short print guy. Do you agree with that statement? Is that a bold take?
Yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah, I think the whole idea of super short prints, or the appeal for super short prints, at least for me and for a lot of other collectors, is that it's the same design, just a different image. So we don't need all the parallels. We don't need the different colored borders like we have in the base set. It's just a very rare paper version or chrome version, very rare base version of that particular player with a different image. That's it.
I actually disagree, only insofar as I think there should be a super. I like that there's a super.
So you think just the base and then the super?
Yeah, I think having all the short print image variations shouldn't have they shouldn't do it to where they have an orange speckle and all the different stuff that gets super weird. I follow the logic I think both of you are advocating for, but I like there being a super as a super cool chase, and I think it should be worth more than the regular base super. I think there should just be an emphasis of this was an even more short printed image that we put more thought and care, and it's rarity or it's something candid. And then
I wouldn't mind that.
There's one super in that. Yeah.
but it's the same print as the base, and the base was harder to get. I don't know. I guess they're equally hard to get. There's one, so I don't know. I have a hard time with it.
Right, but Ty would be saying this is the only non-base version of that
Sure.
image.
Okay. The only parallel. So
Right. So you can't get reds or orange or gold. So
I'd actually advocate for them coming up with some other kind of one of one and actually like highly restricting how they use superfractors.
Like the Popper Adasha. Like put that as like the super.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's a bad example, but that's what they did in Sapphire. They could do the same thing for the short print.
Well, I'll give you an example. Is like in Prism, you know, they have multiple one of ones, but they came up with the Choice Nebula one of one.
Oh yeah,
which is very aesthetically different from the blacks, like one of ones. So if Topps did something like that, where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have a different one of one for the SP variation, and it's more like a Choice Nebula." Like, I'm not saying that's what it should be, but something that's different.
How does value work for those, Ty?
It's pretty polarizing. They can go both directions. Typically, the black prisms have won out in recent years, but like when you see polls, and I've run polls, other people with bigger followings have run polls, it tends to be pretty split down the middle of like which ones people prefer. So I could see that actually being a good differentiator. So that I don't think any of us like the dilution of like a million superfractors every year being printed for everybody. It's forcing us to try to figure out within that like which ones are special and have more importance. So
I actually just did a video on how many superfractors were printed the first year in 2005 versus 2025. So stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
Give you a hint. It's a lot more.
Well, Phil, you've pointed out in the past like how much the platinum one of ones out of Topps paper suck. Like they could make those better, but like at least they have a at least they're not somehow like, oh, it's still a superfractor like out of Topps paper. That would be ridiculous. So coming up with different unique one of ones in different products, I would personally be a fan of that as opposed to just
Topps is doing foil. They're doing foil fractors now as the 101s, but like that's still different enough. You can tell it's a lesser version of the superfractor.
I'm going to show you guys speaking of foil fractor. I got to pull this up because that's a great segue. Altuve Collector. I don't know if you guys saw Altuve Collector's foil fractor that he just posted. All right, I'm going to show you this. I think this card looks absolutely amazing. Is that a 2020 Bowman Platinum? I just think that card's beautiful. The cool, it's a different effect. It kind of still has a bit of a supery vibe with that, like, you know, kind of honeycomb on it, but I don't know.
They shine really well. I owned one foil fractor in the past. It was a Zach Greinke from the 2020 complete set. Some guy got it, and every single card is a 1-on-1 foil fractor. So I was able to get the Greinke. And they look really cool. They're really cool cards, and they are better than the platinum for sure. So nice to see some platinum love. People always say we don't talk about the high end. We just talk about platinum. So that's like as not high end as it gets.
True. Even though I think was supposed to be high end.
And it's still 101. Ty, there's a card you wanted to kind of hit on a little bit. Do you want to share that screen?
A couple other noteworthy sales. So obviously anytime an MLB debut of a key player sells. So we saw this Nick Kurtz. I think we all love the debut patch autos. So great card. 516 grand. That's a big boy sale. And what stood out to me, so here's that crazy Shea sale right below it. But this card stood out to me.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
As like a dual dated with their birth dates. That must be their birth date? They're like born on the same day, like same birthday, 12/30.
Just different years.
Yeah. Auto numbered 2 of 3 between LeBron and Tiger. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Nick Kurtz is going to wind up being the best player ever, but this card to me, I would, if I was like, hey, how should I spend $500,000 to $600,000 this weekend? I would probably go for the Tiger and the LeBron over the Kurtz, but these things are getting real popular.
So is it decided now that this is now the card over the Bowman Chrome Super? It feels like it's completely definitive and decided now. Do we agree with that?
Sure seems that way.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
It's kind of sad. It's the end of an era.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll never have one. But when they first came out, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get some like Tigers player I like more than most people. And then I realized they were like 10K still. I was like, never mind.
It's like a minimum of 10K.
I just don't I don't care. Brooks Lee for 23.5, you know?
That's crazy.
But you still have the this is the rookie. So this is the top of the rookie pyramid. So you still have the Bowman first auto as the top of the prospect pyramid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean-
historically, like for Aaron Judge, you say, what's Aaron Judge's best card? Easily the Bowman Chrome Superfractor 101 Auto. But maybe you could argue the Dynasty Logo Man, but I don't even think that's close. But like now with Nick Kurtz, I don't know if the Superfractor is going for 70% of what that just went for.
Unless there's a bounty from David Adams on it.
Yeah, then who knows?
This is an interesting sale. 15.9 for the Woo a year ago. I mean, how much does that go for today after the year he had last year? What do you think?
It's hard. So the market is still trying to figure itself out with this. Like I don't think anybody had a precise. Oh, Kurtz is going to go for between 400 to 600. A lot of people were off. I think 90% of people would have been off more than 75K with that final price. So
yes,
definitely the top card, but a lot of variance. And if you look at previous sales, a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Like Skeens was like pretty high for the time. And then if you look at Kurtz now, it's like, well, he's not a pitcher. So he's relative to Skeens, he should be worth at least half, if not more. And then what did Marcelo Meyer go for?
That Skeens still feels kind of weird to me.
It went corporate. Meyer, I think, went for 50, right around 50.
Yeah.
What do you like better, Marcelo Meyer at 50 or Nick Kurtz at 500?
So if I am a billionaire, I like the Kurtz. If I'm me, I like Meyer. And I think that when Ty's talking about what would work for him, if you were kind of a billionaire speculator, love to go to casinos, then you probably pick Kurtz over that other card, I'm guessing. But like, what's the path for that Kurtz to be worth $1 million someday?
Yeah.
3 MVPs. Like he has to do really good with the A's.
Yeah, as a first baseman, good luck. Yeah,
60 home runs.
Funny thing is, if there was a Cal Raleigh, do you think it would have gone for that much if that card of Cal Raleigh existed? He had 60 home runs.
Maybe they'll make a retrofractor version of it.
Oh no! Don't give him any ideas.
So here's a card that I think we should discuss. It was a very interesting. I hit the wrong button. So I owned. How do I want to phrase this so I don't give it away too much? Here's an interesting card. Okay. This Otani sold for $48,000. I've talked about this before. Pretty cool. You can see the patch right here, which I think is pretty neat. So you can see where the patch is. That's cool. Good job, Tops. But this card sold for $48,000, but so did this. Exactly the same. It sold exactly the same amount. So are we over the pitching image? It feels like the pitching image is kind of dead to me. I've owned the blue pitching. It never got as much interest as my blue hitting. But like the fact that a pitching rookie card, number to 99, I know it's a green refractor, but it's still a BGS 95, is selling the same as just a random PSA 8 Dynasty is kind of interesting. Like, what did you guys take from this?
I would take the green in a second over that one.
I would say that all Bowman Chrome autos are dead to me of Otani because I think they got 10 years of appreciation in like 6 months. So for me, I won't be looking at any of them and taking them seriously. I think there's going to be people, a lot of people sitting on gains, realizing them over the next few years.
Unrealized gains?
Yeah. With the rampant rise of the Bowman Chrome auto of Otani and a lot of his other stuff has gone up too. But yeah, I would still take the green over this.
It's still his first auto, the early auto, which is nice.
So not only that, but there's actually a PSA, I wonder if I pulled it up. There was actually a PSA 9 that went for only like 30,000 only. I know that sounds idiotic, but it went for only 30 grand compared to what that sold for. So you could have gotten a nice Otani rookie autograph for a lot cheaper. Here it is. So pretty interesting too. And then I had a couple others I wanted to talk about. This one was intriguing to me. This Curt Schilling. It's Curt Schilling, which I know people have a lot of opinions on Curt Schilling as a person, but probably should be a Hall of Famer. Didn't get voted in because he said a lot of weird things about journalists and politics. And then he said he didn't want people to vote for him on the 10th ballot. But this card of Jeff Bagwell sold for 30,000, just barely, the Gem Masters 101. And the same card of, I can see his face, hit a bird. What's his name?
Randy Johnson?
Randy Johnson sold for like 45,000, just barely. So
shows how young Scott is.
Right.
I know Randy Johnson. I just couldn't think of
What's
his
that
name.
guy's name?
The one
5'8",
guy,
5'8" righty.
But this card felt cheap too. So a lot of interesting sales. This card felt expensive to me.
Black Label still has some cachet, I guess.
I can't.
It's
Just
not a
not on a 5, not on the red.
It's
Right,
this fucking
yeah.
stupid premium to pay. I'm sorry. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Stop it, everybody. Stop it.
Don't pay up for Black Labels on cards that are numbered to 5. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. Take it or don't follow it. I don't care.
Don't pay up for Black Label on a grading company that won't exist in 2 years. Ooh. Just kidding. Bang.
That's actually a great segue to our next episode we'll talk about in a minute, which is it might even be posted right now.
Yeah,
It's coming back, baby.
In reverse.
It's coming back. Okay, with that being said, let's wrap this episode up. One thing we do want to note is we have our own Discord. Discord is great. We actually have our own Patreon. It gets you access to one extra video a week. Plus, it gets you access to our Discord. We have 170 members on Discord right now. Come join, come talk. We're introducing a bunch of new threads. Is that the right term for Discord? What is it called? Channels about different types like superfractors and autograph patches and all these different things and buy sell trades. So check that out if you're interested.
Even great data analysis by people, whether it was their own or sharing others of print runs, lots of cool chatter. So you got to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And a little shout out. Scotty and I did a Patreon this week about getting to know Scott's hobby history. So if you're interested in finding out more about Scott and how he got into the hobby and his path that led him here, definitely check out the Patreon.
I can genuinely say, I will genuinely say, I said stuff in that episode I've never said on any episode the last 5 years on any of the channels about my hobby history. And before you think I want to do this, Jeff, it was Jeff's idea, not mine. So don't think I was being full.
Idea.
We're doing Jeff next week. So if you want to hear about Jeff,
testimonial,
join. So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.